Laker fans, how we doing? My name is Sammy Long. This is another Laker preview video, doing one for every game this season. And today we're going to be previewing the Washington Wizards. The Lakers are going to be continuing the Grammy road trip in Washington against a team that, frankly, to put it, they're terrible. They're 6-40. They're the worst team in basketball. We're going to get to them in one quick second. We're going to do a fast recap of the previous game against Philly. Ugly performance by the Lakers. Really ugly performance. It was a lot of enthusiasm and excitement running into that game, coming off the 4-game win streak, having beat this Washington Wizards team to start that 4-game winning streak, then decimating Boston, beating the Warriors handily. Even though the Hornets game, LaMelo Ball going out, it wasn't really a pretty win considering how much the Lakers were up after the first quarter, but they still got the job done and got a road victory. I was expecting a lot more from this team in that Philly game. The Philly game was really lackadaisical. No defense was played. Tyrese Maxey had 43 points. Pretty much everyone on the team was a no-show outside of LeBron, Dalton Connect, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura. And even Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves, I wouldn't really say had great games. They were just okay. Max Christie had a really tough night. Dorian Finney-Smith had a really tough night. Just all around a bad game. JJ Redick talked about it after. They could tell the kind of soreness. There were some guys out, obviously not playing. The Anthony Davis injury completely threw a wrench in the game plan in the first quarter. So there are a lot of things that went into it. Tough loss, got to flush it. But now, because of that Anthony Davis injury, Washington is a must-win for the Lakers. This is a game the Lakers cannot drop. Chris Haynes is reporting that Anthony Davis is supposed to be out for a week. He'll be reevaluated in a week after the MRI confirmed an abdominal muscle strain. So that means he's going to miss the game against Washington, the game against New York, and the game against the Clippers. In best case scenario, he's going to be back for that game next week against the Warriors. So after this Wizards game, it doesn't get easy. The Knicks are a really good basketball team. The Clippers are a good basketball team. And the Warriors, even though the Lakers just beat, probably going to be looking for some get back. They just actually beat Oklahoma City tonight. So none of those games are really walkover games. This is the game that you look at as a game that it doesn't matter who's out there for the Lakers. No Anthony Davis. They should win this game. The Lakers open as 6.5-point favorites. That line has been pushed all the way to 7.5. And the total right now is set at 224.5. As I mentioned earlier, Washington is terrible. They're not a good basketball team. 6-40 on the year, 16-game losing streak coming into this game. The Lakers last week beat them 111-88, so beat them handily at home. They lost to the Raptors. This will be the second night of a back-to-back for them, so they lost to the Raptors tonight, 106-82. Again, not a lot of scorers on this team, not a lot of energy on this team. There's a lot of young players that do have potential, but the problem with the Wizards, they don't really have a star to kind of help mentor these young players. Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma would probably be the two best players. I guess Valanciunas as well. Jordan Poole, the former Warrior, he shoots a ton of shots a game. He's not high efficiency, but he will score a lot because he does kind of have no one competing him for touches. Kyle Kuzma, we all know, former Laker, can get off at certain times, but then also kind of disappears, that kind of wing defense, but also can very streaky score. Valanciunas is going to be the guy to watch. If the Wizards have any path to victory, it's going to be Valanciunas without Anthony Davis. I'd expect Jackson Hayes to be starting in this game to go up against Valanciunas. Koloko, I'm assuming, is definitely going to get a lot of time because you're going to need someone to come in off the bench, especially if Hayes gets in foul trouble. Hayes has had a problem of getting in foul trouble recently. That cannot happen with AD out. You got to make sure that he's out there. There's been some rumors, maybe LeBron gets some minutes at the 5, maybe Rui drops down at the 5, but that's not really something that you can sustain very well, and that's kind of hoping that you can survive for a few minutes at a time because you don't want LeBron getting in foul trouble as well, and that's not really a good thing for him guarding Valanciunas, who is way bigger than him. So Jackson Hayes has really got to perform in this game and not get in foul trouble early, and hopefully Koloko can come in and give some big minutes off the bench. That's probably their path to victory for the Wizards. They need Valanciunas to dominate on the inside. The last time these two teams played, last week, 80 at 29 points. So you're taking that away. Still, this is a team the Lakers should beat without Anthony Davis. Kind of filling out the lineup for the Wizards. Kaishan George out of Miami, he's a nice young player. He's been getting a lot of looks for this team recently. Bilal Kubalali is another wing player that kind of rounds out the starting lineup for them. And then off the bench, there's Corey Kispert, guy out of Gonzaga. He's had some nice games against the Lakers. He didn't have a bad game last week, actually. Justin Champagne, he's another young player, gets a lot of run for them. Rashawn Holmes, kind of the one kind of veteran guy on this team at age 31. He's been around the league for a little bit, kind of hopped around different destinations. And then now, because the Wizard season is clearly they're in the tank, trying to get the number 1 overall pick, they've been playing Jamal Shead out of Houston. A lot of you would remember him. He had a nice tournament run last year for Houston in March Madness. He was a really good player. And then Jacoby Walter out of Baylor, another like young player, 20 years old. So this season for the Wizards is all about tanking, trying to get the number 1 pick, and trying to see if any of these guys that you have could be with this team for the long run. But, they're going to give the Lakers their best shot. And this is in Washington. This is not a walkover game. The Lakers are dealing with a lot of lineup fluctuations between Anthony Davis out. And then on the Lakers injury report side of things, Rui Hachimura is probable. That's a good sign. Lakers certainly going to need him for this game. But Dorian Finney-Smith with a right shoulder contusion, LeBron James, left foot injury management, and Gabe Vincent, left knee contusion are all questionable. Anthony Davis, Shafino, and Wood are out. I'm assuming LeBron's going to go, because if LeBron doesn't go and Anthony Davis isn't there, there's a real possibility the Lakers lose this game. The betting line reflects that they probably think LeBron will play. Definitely want Dorian Finney-Smith or Gabe Vincent, or possibly both. You just want as many guys as possible, because you're going to have to throw some fouls at these guys. And with Anthony Davis, you don't have that kind of go-to beast down low that you can just kind of get easy points off of. So you're putting a lot more pressure on a guy like Max Christie, who had a tough night the other night. Austin Reeves needs to have a big night. Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent if he plays, Finney-Smith. Connect had 24 the other night. That was kind of the one bright spot in Philly. These guys really got to step up, because you don't want to leave a team like the Wizards hanging around. Got the Lakers in town. This is kind of their Super Bowl, knowing their season's not going anywhere. To beat a Laker team on their home floor would be a big deal for a lot of these guys, especially guys who have, Kuzma used to play for the Lakers. Jordan Poole has had some longstanding history with the Lakers, and Valanciunas has been linked to the Lakers a lot through trade. They're going to want to come out and ball in this game. On their side of things, they're kind of hush-hush on the injury report, because they did play. This will be the second of a back-to-back, so teams kind of keep it quiet as long as they can. But Marvin Bagley did not play in the game against Toronto. Sadiq Bey did not play. Malcolm Brogdon and Alex Sarr were all out. So they might not play. A few of them might go. Whoever goes to this team, the Lakers should beat them. It doesn't matter. If the Lakers show up and play good ball, I think the Lakers are less on upset alert because of the fact that they got kind of embarrassed in Philly. So there's not really an excuse of coming off a 5-game winning streak had they beaten Philly and taken this team lightly. But as I put here, Washington, this is a big game for the Lakers in terms of they need to win this, because you're not going to be favored in New York, especially with Anthony Davis out. With Anthony Davis out, you're probably not favored against the Clippers. And the Warriors are a tough game as well. You don't know how long AD will be out. They said he'll be reevaluated in a week. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's coming back for that Warrior game in a week. You need to win the game that you're expected to win. There's a reason you're 7.5-point favorites in this game. Go out, take care of business, and get ready. And hopefully you can pick off one of these games against the Knicks, against the Clippers, especially against the Clippers and Warriors, because you want tiebreakers there. The Knicks isn't the worst loss in the world, even though we don't want them to lose, because it is an Eastern Conference foe. But the Clippers already got a game on the Lakers, and you want to make sure you have a tiebreaker against the Warriors. They did, as I mentioned earlier, get a big win against Oklahoma City, so they could be getting hot at the right time. You want to make sure you have tiebreakers against these teams. Handle business against Washington, and don't let this snowball. You're coming off a 4-game winning streak, winning 6 of 7. Don't let the Philly game, where kudos to Philly, they really came to play. Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre, they all had big games. Don't let that snowball into an area where then all of a sudden the Lakers are looking at losing to Philly and losing to an awful Washington team that has lost their previous 16 games. And then you're looking at a kind of tougher schedule the next week, where you're forced to win a lot of these games. And who knows if the Lakers can do that without Anthony Davis. So hopefully we're talking about a Laker W. Alan's going to get you guys on the post-game show as well as his show in the morning, killing it as usual. Alan doing his thing. And hopefully we're all talking about a Laker W and moving on to New York, but don't want to jinx anything. So let's go Lakers, and appreciate everyone for tuning in. Thank you.